Good afternoon, everyone. And I'm just had to put something in the mail, so I was out here by the road, and these are Mexican bluebells that the deers keep chewing down are just blooming really pretty, and so I thought I'd start there today. And um, lemongrass is still doing good. And the hibiscus here, I have two more plants on down that I've quit harvesting and was calling myself let them go to seed. I don't know if the pods that have pollinated will actually be viable seed by the weekend when we're supposed to have a frost. But I'm just, like I say, experimenting as I do. The girls have been out chasing squirrels. When we walked out the door, they got part way up the tree before they couldn't go no further. And after a six-pack, I'm having a damn hard time just opening my own damn gate. But the camellias is coming along really nice. I'm looking forward to them. Probably I'll have more blooms by Thanksgiving. These over here have always been a little slower, but the buds are really opening on them, or not opening, really swelling. I have so many likings and everything else, you know, the Spanish moss and what have you, but to me, even just that is rather beautiful on the old stick that I end up on the firewood or on a fire somewhere. These pinks have really opened up and starting to look nice, and I've said it before last year when I was doing videos, the lighter colors are always the first that will get bit by frost. The darker colors, not so much until it gets to freezing, and then they'll turn brown and everything. The pinks in here. And they start shedding, and they'll just cover the dirt, which I was going to show the plant around that's in the same family as the camellias, but it's not considered a camellia. These are some of the tightest pack flowers that I have on them. But this white here is just, well, it's not white. This is supposed to be a peppermint, but once they get this big opened and everything else, it's kind of hard to spot the pink on them. Just trying to get there. The little buds, you can still see some pink. You see a big ass bumblebee. And the ground plum white with petals. And when I walked out a while ago, it was a nice, comfortable 71 degrees with a wind around 5 to miles an hour are variable. What you found, did he? Did he go up that tree? Huh? Is he up there? Silly old animal. Silly old animal. The papayas are, the leaves on it are getting a lot more yellow here lately and everything, so I don't know just how they're going to fare, but so far the frost, we've had 2 frosts that I've been able to detect, and it got my moonflower vine, but it hasn't got the canis lilies, and they're pretty sensitive to it. It really surprised me, but other things have been bit. Still have blooms on the pear tree, and yeah, some on the apple. And I saw a thing on Old Farmer's Almanac that means you're supposed to have cold weather till May. I wish. We always have. Hell, I've been in the 90s before in January. What you finding, Chloe-Oe? But the dog fennels out here, you can see these are pretty well bit back from. They're one of the first things that will detect the frost. The old worm bins that I've had out here that have been sitting there now, it'd be some good material for potting, but I just haven't got it all mixed. That I have even got baked out. There were some a variety of puffball out here that I spotted yesterday, if I can find them again. Deer sign everywhere. I have oodles and oodles of different fungi, I think is the way you say what a mushroom the family it's in. These have a harder shell on them that cracks open, and a lot of times it cracks open in such a way it forms a star, and I need to start toting me a little pocket of markers around where I can flag what I see one day to film the next, because I'm not going to find them, it doesn't look like. But there are all kind of other mushrooms around and about. Little ones over here. I bought a big old $30 book one time to try to figure out what might be edible, but one of the first things it says is until you had a actual botanist, horticulturist, or whatever determine that it is edible, you better not be eating it. This is my camphor tree, and I think these berries, whenever they start really shining up, are just beautiful. And I've had a number of them saved up, meant to add them into a package that I sent to people and forget it. There's some puffballs around here that these can get huge. I ain't believing that I can't find them because I walked right to them yet there. This was with the top already off of it here. See if I can find the one that hasn't busted open yet. Well, again, just darn it. There's one. There was what I was looking for. And see, this one has popped on the side over here and here. And they make a, it's wet like a tar or whatever. And that's probably where a deer has stepped on it, because this is a deer track here. And he probably stepped on that side of it that cracked it open. And a lot of times, instead of puffing, it gets transferred on the heel of the deer or other animals, like my puppy dogs or whatever. This was another thing I've been wanting to record, and I'm going to get to it now. This is a deer scrub, or a deer rub. And this is a Chinaberry tree that I thought they had killed last year from rubbing all up in here last year. And I just swore he'd killed the whole thing, but it came back from down at the stump and below where he had scrubbed and branched back out. And he's been at it, and the girls, whenever they're around, they are very interested in it, because along with rubbing, they urinate, and they mark their territory with scent, and that's what a lot of the hunters use, is deer pee for scent and everything. The girls are finding this interesting, which they have been for the last several days, because this is fresh. He was just out here last night again. I see new markings on it. I just kept the Chinaberry tree as kind of a novelty, but it's really tickled me last year and this year that the deers find it so attractive. And I don't know if how many are familiar with the fact that deer antlers are a growth, and they do carry both blood vessel and nerve endings. And whenever they mature out, the velvet starts dying back and they get itchy. And that's what the deers do, is they scrub the antlers to get the velvet off, because it's itchy and irritating to them. And so they clean it up, and some way or another that kills the nerve endings, and the antlers harden, and then we have a deer with horns. I think they've smelled a rabbit here now. This up here, this is kind of low and coming out of the gardens, and you can take, and what we used to do was what they call grubbing, and you drive a wooden stake down into the soil, and then take an old brick bat and rub it across the top of the stake, and it vibrates, and the worms will come out of the dirt. And it was called grubbing. Just a bit of an informative. I hope somebody has picked something up that's useful. They have, like I say, just all kind of fungi, mushrooms, toadstools, whatever, We were always told toadstools were the poison one, mushrooms was the edible ones, but I don't know what's what a lot of times. I just can't keep up with it all nowadays. I'd ask what this bush was, but last year we never did figure it out, but that's some shots with the leaves and the berries. The berries are brightened up like a cranberry. They just get blood red, and the birds enjoy them. And that's the way the goldenrod looks whenever it has gone way past harvesting. And I'm going to call it a video there and let this one go and post it. Blessings all.